Okay, we've got the market, which is come back quite sharply. I mean, just down 11 points now, 17,566 is where we are trading at. Now, we got an IPO, which is opening for subscription today, and it is India's largest airport service aggregator platform, DreamFolks Services, which is floating its public issue. The company intends to raise up to 562 crores through its public offer of more than 1.72 crore equity shares at the upper end of the price band of 308 to 326 rupees per share. Liberatha Peter Kallat, Chairperson and Managing Director at the company, is now joining in to take some questions. Liberatha, thank you very much for joining us. Good to have you with us here. Prashant this side. Can you first of all very simply tell us what exactly do you do? What is your business all about?
So Prashant, I'm sure you must be also using our services, and many more people are using our services. So what basically we do is, any traveler who is actually using his credit or debit card to access the airport lounges, this program is incubated by DreamFolks. So we are the one who actually started this program, wherein giving a benefit, which is a lounge benefit, now I would say airport services benefit on the credit and debit card. So the way it works is that any customer who actually walks into the lounge and taps his card. So once the transaction is done there, and the customer gets a free access to the lounge. However, we invoice, to the bank or the credit card company for the payments, right? And they pay DreamFolks, and we keep a delta, and then accordingly the lounges invoice DreamFolks, and we pay for the number of transactions which happen at the lounge. So this is the business model, and this is what we have done.
Who pays you, Liberatha? I mean, so the customer walks in.
The customer walks in, the customer gets a complimentary access.
The card is issued by the bank, right? And yes. They tap the card, they get access to the lounge free of charge. So where do you come in?
So we manage the complete end-to-end program. So when I say we manage the complete end-to-end program. So for example, Prashant, when you enter a lounge, when you tap your card, now to identify whether your card is eligible for the free access at the lounge. Okay, so there are a couple of checks which happens. So the first check is whether your card is eligible. Okay, so there is a bin level check which happens. And then there is a second level check which happens is that, what are the utilizations which has happened to your card? For example, there are different tiers of cards which are there in the market, right? So for a platinum, maybe there would be 2 per quarter or 4 per quarter, depending on the card variant. Some cards are unlimited. Now also to keep a check that, what are the number of transactions you have done? So all this check actually happen on our system. So that is the tech what we have built in. Okay.
So yeah, got that. We got that. So what percentage of your business revenues comes from lounge fees? Is it entirely from lounge fees, or do you have other streams of revenues as well?
So presently, it is purely from the lounges. When we started this business 9 years back, the complete business focus was only on the lounges. Okay. However, now we also have the other services added in our portfolio as well. However, we have just started this after COVID. So we expect to see numbers growing in the other services in coming years.
Okay. And, the reason I ask is because in, say, FY20, you had about almost 360, 370 crores of business that came in from lounge fees. That has fallen to about 270, 280 crores. But of course, the whole aviation industry itself has gone through a bit of a slowdown. On an average, what kind of growth are we looking at over the next few years?
So we are looking at a growth of 40% right now.
Okay. In your top line?
This is the industry growth right now. So... Okay. The other numbers I would not be able to.
What is? Could you tell us how much do you make per passenger?
So right now the cost is around 880 rupees per transaction or per customer, you may say.
Sorry, how much?
But these are the blended pricing. What I'm talking about, 880 rupees
per customer.
Per customer, yes.
So you get paid 880 rupees per customer.
Yes.
Okay, okay, fair enough. And this is the average per customer.
Average blended cost, because the pricing differs in the lounges from metro cities to tier 2, tier 3 cities. Again, the domestic lounge pricing differs and the international lounge. So this is a blended price, what I told you.
Would they be, I mean, is there great entry barriers, or could this not be, what are the risks, Liberatha? I mean, could the banks do this themselves? Could they directly interact with lounges around the country? Why would, I mean, if you're a bank and you're offering your customers a certain privilege on certain cards, would you be able to continue to collect these kind of monies from the bank for this per customer, or would there be pressure?
Sure. So I'll just start with, from the time when we started. So it's not that, there were no other players. So there was a global player in the market. And I think that's a differentiator what we created in the market in terms of the solution what we brought, right? When I say differentiator, because we introduced this with, benefits on the same credit and debit card. So that was one of the biggest differentiator, and that's the reason why we stand. When you talk about, is there an entry barrier? I think the moat what we have created for our business in terms of the solution. Today, we have a hybrid solution. We started with the credit and debit card. We also have our own plastic, which is also issued by banks and non-banking clients as well. We also have our digital app where we have deeply integrated with the banks and the credit card companies as well. And we also have a one-time voucher, which is issued by airlines and OTAs as well. So I think it's a hybrid solution what we have created. The other side, we also have the marquee clients who have been working with us for past 9 years, and they understand the solution what we bring. Apart from that, the services what we render, because it is not about just the solution or, the hardware which is provided at the airport, but I think managing the complete program in terms of, training the lounges, ensuring that, every customer gets the right experience at the lounge. Secondly, the customer escalations, which are very, very important for the bank or the card networks. And all these are directly managed at our level. And because we also have our in-house customer care, wherein a helpline number where, the direct card holders can reach out to us for any
problem that you see. Okay, got that. Got that. One risk, Liberatha, is that your balance sheet looks a bit stretched. Your working capital looks worrying. Receivables are higher than what it was in FY20 at a time when your revenue was much higher. Your operating cash flows are also negative. Your payables are extremely high. So can you tell us a little bit about that? Do you see further pressure on your balance sheet and working capital pressure?
So Sonia, actually, if you see the changes, this were actually during the COVID time. And, we actually have given this, I would say, a preference to our clients for the payment periods were extended for them. And this was one of the reasons, because yes, during the COVID, every industry was suffering. And I think it is, as a partner, it is very important that how you support your clients and your service providers as well. So as a company, we actually decided in that way. But right now, if you actually see, we are coming to the same terms of what we have our payment agreements or contracts with them. And we are in line in the same way what we were in the pre-COVID time.
Okay.
What is this money going to be? I mean, this is the OFS, right? 33% dilution.
Yes.
Why are you doing this at this point? And what is the objective?
So Prashant, if you have seen that, we are the market leader standing with a 95% market share. And yes, in India, with the professional connects, it was a bit easy to start this business because you already know the industry well. But it's very important right now for also to grow globally as well. And that's what, as a company, we see that, we have a lot of potential to grow global. So one of the reasons is that, as a listed company, the credibility, what you get is very, very important. And I think that will actually help us to grow global. So this is one of the biggest reasons. Second reason is that, we have seen that we have a lean team of 60 people. And to have the right professionals working with you, it's also very important to take care of your team members. And I think ESOP is the right way to incentivize the employees. And I think as a listed company, they would also get the right dilution as well. Secondly, the most important thing is that in terms of the volumes, what we drive to the lounges, overall is around 67%, and major locations is more than 80% as well. But, the end customer is still not aware about DreamFolks as a brand. So I think these are the reasons that, why we want to go for IPO. And yes, I think we thought that this was the right time where we see that, yes, the travel is also coming back.
Okay, well, all the best, and thanks a lot for joining us on the show. And we'll speak to you again very soon once the listing happens. That's DreamFolks. They've already raised about 253 crores from anchor investors. The business model, though, looks a bit weak and vulnerable. But in any case, that's the latest one on Dalal Street. Let's do one thing. Let's wrap up on Bazaar on that note. Lots of trading ideas lined up on Chartbusters, so don't go anywhere.